singers, donors, board members, all being supportive of Canzona and women's choral music in our community. And as you all know, San Luis Obispo is a tremendous place to live. I mean, just look at the weather in other parts of the country right now. But you know, one thing that makes it so amazing is the arts community that we enjoy. And it is those people who donate, who support, who participate. It's really in gratitude to every one of you. And we truly thank you for that. And, you know, the tradition of women in song singing together is really, it goes so far back in history, and it's global. And like from cloistered convents to open fields, and women singing in spiritual settings, at births, at deaths, to make the world better in protests or in celebration. And it's this kind of a tradition that Canzona brings to this community. And it's very important to me and to all of us, I believe, in the sense of how we can keep that tradition alive. And if you're like me, you know that you've sat at a Canzona concert and maybe you feel a sense of awe, or you've laughed a little bit, or maybe you've felt humbled by something that's been sung, or you've had a tear come. And I think that's why, I mean, I know that's why choral music is so important. It's because it touches who we are as humans. And I think it gives us a touchstone as human beings of where we belong in this world and who we are on a day-to-day level. So again, thank you for being here. And I think I speak for all of us, singers, members of the board, donors, our wonderful artistic directors, in saying that this is why we do it, and we're very proud to be doing it. So I want to thank you again for being here and for your support. I'm going to turn it over now to Cricket and Jill Anderson, and they're going to talk about a little bit of what's coming up in 2021.
I'm saying cheers to everybody because I've read of other groups that have cocktails and music for their, I see other people have coffee. Well, I haven't drunk too much of this. I wanted to be very coherent tonight when I talked to you. We are so excited about looking forward to the future, to when we can perform again. We had hoped that would be this spring. Clearly, that's not going to be the case. But with the rollout of the vaccines, we are very hopeful and somewhat cautiously confident that we will be able to present a concert for you in the fall. And Cricket is going to tell you about the theme of that concert in just a moment. Of course, that is contingent on a rehearsal venue being available to us, places where we can rehearse together. It's contingent on the singers feeling comfortable. Hopefully they've been vaccinated. They'll feel comfortable being in a room together singing, which we have not been able to do for almost a year now. Hopefully the audiences will feel safe and want to come, even if it has to be in a limited capacity in the venues. But our big hope is to give you a concert in November, early November of next fall, and to start rehearsing for that concert in September. And so fingers crossed, that's what we hope to do. There's also a possible return to the stage event. It's a week-long thing that is going to be coordinated by the Arts Coalition in our county, and Canzona, if we're rehearsing at that time, we will participate in that as well. So we're fingers crossed again for the fall and for our first concert of 2020. And now Cricket is going to tell you about the theme of that very exciting concert.
Right, well, this is a concert that we had hoped to do in the fall of the current season, which would have been last year. Obviously, that was not possible. So the theme of the concert is Notable Women. And for those of you who wonder how Jill and I come up with ideas, I wanted to take a moment and share my screen and show you what inspired this particular concert in the moment. So I'll do that now. And I will just quickly show you this picture. So as you can see, and Nikki is the one that actually loaned this puzzle to me. I still have it in my closet. Many of us in Canzona love to do puzzles, and I was doing this puzzle and thought, my goodness, look at all these amazing women. Why don't we do a concert that features notable women over the ages? Some of these women are obviously still living. Some of them are no longer with us. So we're talking about women composers, women poets, notable women in our community, because we would like to find a way to really engage Canzona, sort of see how we embed within our own community. And so that's going to be the theme for fall. And we're still quite a bit of ways from fleshing it out. You know, we've been so focused on our virtual choir projects and what we're doing now, but we're already starting to pull repertoire and think about how we can bring this theme forward. And part of our goal would be to, for the rest of this season, as we move toward the summer, is to start to reveal little bits of what that will be in that concert in our wonderful emails that Jill Whaley has been putting together for us and sending us out. So that's our theme for fall, hoping, fingers crossed, as Jill said, that we will be able to sing together and sing for you. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is actually, I'm going to introduce Vanessa Holcomb to you. Vanessa, she'll tell you a little bit about how long she's been singing with Canzona. And not only is she a singer, but she is also a wonderful cellist and has played cello with us. And in fact, well, I won't say any more than that. She's going to talk about what the experience is like to be part of a virtual choir. So I'll be quiet and let her speak.
Well, it's quite different than being corporately singing, I will say that. I had never done it before, and so it was an experience. When I did the audio of my voice track, you have an earbud in your ear and the musical line playing in your ear, and it's to help you keep tempo and in the right key signature when you're singing. But you lay down a track, you go back and listen, and you feel very isolated. And ooh, I could have shaped that vowel differently, or that tone could have been better there, or I'm a little under pitch. So you do it again and again and again until you feel a little bit satisfied. It's an isolated feeling. You have a heightened awareness of all of that, the intonation, your tone. It's exposing, let's just say that. Then when I did the audio for the cello, I again had the earbud in my ear, and it had, I think, just a click track. I think it was just a click track just to keep my tempo. I went into my closet and did that. And so it was a very tamped down sound, no reverberation or anything like that. The video part of the experience had its own set of challenges. When I tried to do the vocal part, my husband was helping me. This is Ron, helping me. He was doing the videoing, and it was a challenge finding a place in our home where I could be against the wall. Then we had to, okay, where's the sun? It's casting shadows, turn these lights on. So that was a challenge. The time of day has to come into play there. And I ended up at Cricket's house because she has a beautiful painting, and I stood before that, and it was nice. The video of the cello, we went to our local park. We have a little park in our neighborhood. There again, it was, where is the sun shining right now? And we kept moving positions and to try to get the sun in the right place, shaded by a tree. And then there was a lot of wind that came up. So you have some challenges in that regard, but I think it turned out really nice. So different, but I am really looking forward to getting back together and singing together.
Well, thank you, Vanessa. So I'm going to just take a moment and tell you a little bit about how we chose the piece that became our virtual piece. And the title of it is Love is Love is Love is Love. It's composed by Abby Bettinas, who's a wonderful composer from the Minneapolis, St. Paul area. We've done other pieces of hers in the past, 3 other pieces of hers actually we've sung. She wrote this for the Justice Choir Songbook, which Jill and I met her actually when we attended the Chorus America, the symposium that preceded that back in 2017. And she dedicated this to the victims and survivors of hate crimes everywhere, specifically the Pulse nightclub shooting that happened in June of 2016. And what she says on her website is, love is often the bravest thing we do, may love prevail. She compiled the words, it's around. She compiled the words for it. The title of it comes from a sonnet that Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton, wrote for his wife when he accepted his Tony Award for that. And he has a line in there that says, love is love is love is love is love. So she took that from there. She also stole just a little bit from our favorite Beatles tune, you know, all you need is love. And there's a little bit of melodic line from that. And then there's some Latin in it, ubi caritas et amor, where there is charity and love. And the line would finish, there's also God. This is from one of the antiphons for Easter week, Maundy Thursday, I think, probably from the 10th century in France is what they think this was written. And she put this all together in a beautiful round. And I had heard this because I did a 10-week course with a woman who was getting her doctorate at Columbia University at the Teachers College, talking about collaborative rehearsals. I did that through the fall, and she's the one that introduced me to it, and I thought perfect for Canzona. So I'm going to turn it over first to Mark, Robert Shaw. Mark did the audio portion of this for us. So he's going to tell you just a little bit about what he had to do once he got all the tracks from me, from our singers, to create this for you.
There we go. Can you hear me now? Yes, great. First of all, I just wanted to say that it was such an honor to be able to do a project like this with all of you. Cricket called me up and told me the concept, and she had me at reciting the title of the poem because it resonated with me. I saw Lin-Manuel do his acceptance speech. I thought it was amazing. It was beautiful. And then looking at the material, I was just blown away how she could, in a round, cover so many centuries of music and so many genres of music and layer them on top of each other in a theme that is timeless, which is love. And so I'm just really honored and humbled by this process and this project. It was not as difficult of a process because I think you guys have a really great set of talent in your group, and it was pretty easy to try and synchronize everybody. I think the hardest thing was actually trying to, I listened to many different tracks, and some of you record them as if you're a soloist, and some of you record them as if you're part of the choir. And there's a weird way that we sing when we're part of a collective that you don't get when you're singing by yourself. And it just reminded me about how important it is to sing as a collective. My job is being a musical director for various theater groups, and it was interesting to listen to the individuality. It presented a little challenge because I had to warp everybody's track a little bit. Some of you gave me lots of reverb. You sang in a hall, and some of you were just right up against the mic. So what I had to do with each one was basically find the one that was the most reverberant, and then cater each one of your tracks to that, so that it would sound like you're in the same place when you're singing. So that was fun, though. It was kind of fun to try to create a space that existed in this. And then, in this time where I'm not, I mean, all I do is music and theater, and I work as a stage manager at the Performing Arts Center, and there's no more work for me anymore in any of my places. And I'm sure Dave, I've worked with Dave before, I'm sure that he's feeling the same thing right now. And it's just, I'm really honored to be able to do anything to make the art continue. And I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I was so moved by this piece and seeing all of your honesty. And Dave's work on this was beautiful. And I actually asked Cricket if it would be okay if I use this with a theater group. I'm going to be directing this for a summer concert. We're going to do the same thing. We're not allowed to be together, but I figured we could all try to do this with this song. So thank you for all your inspiration. That's all.
Thank you. Well, and you did a wonderful job, Mark. I mean, we were all touched when we heard it. So we're going to pass this on to Dave. He's going to talk about how he created the video portion, and of course, Joe Whaley was part of the video as well, and he'll probably let you know about that. So go ahead.
Hello, everybody. It was it's such a fun process. I've done too many virtual choir videos right now, and but yours was the the most joyful and easiest in so many ways. First of all, you're all pros. You all you look wonderful. You know how to frame you know, the camera. You've got nice backgrounds. It was just, you could see the joy on your faces. It was just so easy to make it look nice. My first virtual choir video was, well, next month will be, about a year ago. It was right after COVID hit, and then all of a sudden Alan Hancock was, I teach down there at Alan Hancock in addition to Cuesta and Polly. And the choir director there said, is there anyone, we were doing a divisional meeting of all the fine arts department, is there anyone that could help me out with, you know, maybe making a video? I'm like, right here. I hadn't done it, and I was ready to dive in because, well, I just like, I have some video skills, and now my video skills are much better. I have evolved, and this latest creation is kind of, it's pretty much all the bells and whistles that I know, how to make things really clean and yeah, just a nice presentation. And it's like Mark was talking about doing all that audio stuff. I've done both of that, both the audio and video on a lot of things, and it was so nice to not have to do the audio. It came to me, it was done, it sounded great. It was like, yay, oh cool. I got to line up everybody's lips, and that's no problem. And it was pretty cool because I got to slice and dice you guys also, because you did a round of the whole cycle, but because we were layering people and everyone started on the first part. Okay, well, the people who got started are now, they're done, and I had to copy them and paste them on to the, you know, to anyway. It was fun to make it happen, and I want to thank Cricket and Jill. Cricket, for you're detail oriented, and it's such a non-aggressive way. I really appreciate it. You just know how to, well, this is what I'm thinking, and she spells it all out, and then she'll come right back maybe in an email 5 minutes later. Yeah, no, now I'm not, I'm feeling it this way. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll roll with anything you like. It's all good. And then you'll see a portion in this video where it's a video, picture, and a little bit of some videos here and there, montage that Jill Whaley put together, which was just lovely and perfect. And the way this all timed out, it was so easy to put together. And I just want to thank you for all for being so professional to make it easy for me. And Let's not do this again. Let's do something real. We're all together. I've got a bunch of cameras. We'll do it really nice. But if we have to, we know how to do it. We know how to nail it. So thank you all.
Oh, well, thank you, Dave, and for all the compliments too. And so just for, we're going to play it now for you. We haven't shared this with the general public. It'll go out for Valentine's Day because it is that was the theme of this, the love theme. The video montage, which is in the middle portion of this, is taken from photos that our singers sent in, photos that say love to them in some way. So you will see some familiar faces there when we come to the video montage. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and play the video for you. Now, one of the things that you can do so that you don't block a portion of the video is if you go to the upper right-hand corner, well, you'll see you can minimize the faces of, the little boxes of the screen. I'm not saying this very well, am I? So that it just sort of sits up at the very top and it doesn't get in the way of what you see on your screen. And if for some reason you have any trouble receiving at your end, it sometimes helps to shut off your video because you might get a stronger transmission over the internet into your home while I play this. So I'm going to mute myself and share my screen and start.
All we need
So that's it. When Mark sent me the preliminary soundtrack before he had completely finished it, the first thing I did was start to cry. I think many of the Canzona singers told me the same thing. Just hearing ourselves sing together when we can't sing together live was such an emotional experience that I think all of us experienced that. So I'm going to turn this over to Joel Whaley because she has some closing thoughts, and then I think we're going to take questions if there are any.
I just have to say thank you all so much for coming tonight and being here and just being our supporters over the last year. It has been a true joy, and I know we haven't been able to see each other face to face, which I miss terribly. But the emails that you guys send in, I get to share with, Jill and Cricket and Judy and the board, and they're just so heartwarming. Your messages of encouragement and appreciation mean so much to us, and they really have gotten us through this time that's been so different than usual. So thank you so much. And I just hope that as we go forward, you continue to enjoy the music that we share, and we're bringing stuff back from the archives. So if you don't remember it from a few years ago, you'll hear it again here over the summer, and then we'll have new stuff very likely in the fall. So very excited about that. But thank you all so very much.